What up, everybody? This is RBT coming at you with my 2012 SEC Conference Outlook video. In this video, I'm just going to predict the standings for each division in the conference. I'm going to make it pretty quick, so let's go ahead and go at it. In the SEC West, from top to bottom, I got Alabama, LSU, Arkansas, Texas A&M, Auburn, Mississippi State, and Ole Miss. I believe this is going to come down to a three-team race between Alabama, LSU, Arkansas. And after that, I think it's a big gap between Arkansas and Texas A&M talent-wise. I really don't see those bottom four teams contending for the division. But it's really a toss-up between Alabama, LSU, Arkansas. I'm a homer. That's why I chose Alabama first. But, I mean, it really can come down to either of the three teams. Arkansas's big key is the defense. They returned Niall Davis, who was out all of last year. He's a first or second team All-SEC running back. I mean, he's got a bunch of talent. They got Tyler Wilson back for senior year, the best quarterback in the SEC. Their question marks are their defense, and they lost just about every single receiver last year. Just about every receiver is NFL caliber. And, I mean, they got Tyler Wilson throwing to them, so, I mean, I'm sure they're going to be productive, but it might be a little drop-off from last year's receivers for Arkansas. LSU, their big question is the quarterback position. Zach Mettenberger is going to be the starter this year. They lost Jordan Jefferson and Jared Lee, even though some LSU fans probably praising God for that. I mean, you really don't know what to expect out of this guy. He's got probably a stronger arm than Tyler Wilson, but, I mean, he hasn't played a game yet, so you don't know. He's a transfer from Georgia, got kicked off the team. In Alabama, the big question mark is the defense, because we just lost about every player to the NFL, just about half of them in the first round, or are going to be in the first round. But I believe our defense is a lot more talented this year than it was in the 2010 year that everybody's comparing it to, the post-championship year. I just think our talent, like I said, is a lot better all around, and I think Saban's going to have them ready. I'm not sure if they're up to LSU's caliber defense yet, but I think the tie between Alabama and LSU, the tiebreaker is the offense, and we have the best offensive line in the country by far. IMO, in my opinion. But, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of other people, non-Alabama fans, that will agree with that. We have a great offensive line coming back, and that's what I believe separates us from LSU, and we will see about that. Texas A&M, the newcomers, Kevin Sumlin, the head coach, runs that crazy offense. Already calling out Alabama LSU, said that their game was boring. But, I mean, if boring games win you championships, I'll take it. Sorry about that. And Auburn, they turned a bunch of people, but there's going to be a transitional year to a pro-style offense. Kyle Frazier's going to be the starting quarterback more than likely. If I was an Auburn fan, which I'm the opposite, I'd want Kyle Frazier to start, but it's just going to be a transitional year. Kind of comparable to that year when Cody Burns played in their first style and we shut them out 36-0. Mississippi State lost Chris Ralph to he was a senior. Bring the best quarterback coming back is Tyler Russell, more of a pro-style guy. It's kind of be awkward in Dan Mullen's system, but they got the best player on the team is probably Chad Bumphis. So if Tyler Russell can get Chad Bumphis the ball, kind of comparable to Percy Harvin, then I think they'll be alright. And Ole Miss is Ole Miss. Transitional year, new head coach, Hugh Freeze. He's got a hard job ahead of him, but maybe in a few years he can have him coming up, maybe in the middle of the SEC West. Now for the SEC East, top to bottom, I got the Georgia Bulldogs, Florida Gators, South Carolina Gamecocks, the newcoming Missouri Tigers, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, and the bottom dwellers are once again the Kentucky Wildcats. Georgia, they returned just about every player. They had all the potential in the world last year after those two losses. They gave LSU all their money. We saw how good they can be. And they returned just about every player, like I said. So, I mean, why not win the SEC East again when you were that much better this year? Aaron Murray's probably the second best quarterback in the SEC, right underneath Tyler Wilson. And, yeah, Florida, their offense is going to be atrocious again probably this year, but I believe their defense is going to be kind of just a little bit lagging behind Alabama and LSU. Will Muschamp, he's going to have a turnaround year. He's going to have to, or his job is going to be in jeopardy. He's going to be on the hot seat if he doesn't get 8 or 9 wins this year. Maybe still be in the hot seat. Maybe. If I was him, I'd be looking for a 10-win season. And if that's not that, his seat's getting pretty hot. South Carolina, the quarterback position is going to be handled by Connor Shaw. The big question is how Marcus Lattimore returns from his injury. If he returns, they'll be okay on offense. They lost Alshon Jeffrey, so receivers got to step up. And on the defense side of the ball, they're going to be okay. They lost Melvin Ingram and Stephon Gilmore, but they got that Steve Spurrier defense. So, I mean, I've seen some conference outlooks having South Carolina at the top, but I just don't see it. They're kind of average right now. Give them a few more years. Steve Spurrier, if he can find a quarterback that's half decent. I mean, Connor Shaw is more of a runner than a passer. But I believe South Carolina is going to be right behind Florida 3 in the SEC East. 4th, I got Missouri. First year in the SEC. I still think Mike Slive is an idiot for doing this because that makes no sense at all. Bringing 2 average teams. I mean, they have potential. I mean, they could end up winning the SEC in the future, recent future. Recent future, that makes no freaking sense. The upcoming future, the soon future. They got a bunch of talent, honestly. They got great receivers. They have James Franklin, who is really, really underrated. And you SEC fans out there, us included, he'll be one to watch out for this year because he's going to surprise a bunch of you guys because he can run like a wind. He can run right over you. He can throw. Kind of comparable to, I guess you could kind of say RG3 might not have the arm strength and accuracy, but he can run like the wind. And yeah, Missouri will be a team to watch out for. They got that receiver Dorial Green Beckham, the #1 receiver in the year. It's gonna be fun watching James Franklin to Dorial Green Beckham when they're not playing Alabama. Next, we got Vandy. I was kind of flip-flopping Vandy and Tennessee. Didn't know which one to put where. But I got Vandy above Tennessee this year. I got Little Brother above Big Brother, or vice versa, depending on who you like better. But Vandy, they got Jordan Rodgers coming back at quarterback. They got the returner running back who was kind of unheralded last year. Nobody really gave him much attention, but he was one of the better stat-wise running backs in the SEC. I'm pretty sure if you're a Vandy fan and you saw that Arkansas game, you wouldn't really say the same. He kind of gave that game up, but he was really productive throughout the year last year. They lost that. One of my favorite players that went on Alabama was that defensive end, Tim Fugger. I forget how you say his name. He went to the NFL. He was a senior, but he was a great player. They returned a bunch of good guys from on the defense. They did lose a lot of their secondary, so that's going to be something they need to work out the kinks in. But I believe Vandy's going to be strong. If you look at the recent recruiting classes that James Franklin's brought in, they've been pretty freaking good. They got a bunch of 4-stars last year, and they're just going to slowly creep up and be a SEC East contender. I'd give them 2 or 3 years or so. I mean, they could be right now, they're a dark horse, I would say. Not necessarily to win, but a dark horse to upset one of these teams, top premier teams in the SEC. Yes, Vandy got them at 5 in the SEC East. Next, I got Tennessee Volunteers. They bring back Tyler Bray off of his injury, and he's getting really, really hyped. I've seen NFL mock drafts for 2013 having a #1 pick overall. He looks like a bean, but he has great arm strength. I'm glad he was hurt for the Alabama game. I'm pretty sure he was hurt. But yeah, Tennessee, they're kind of a really disappointing season last year. That last game lost to Kentucky. They blew the bowl bid. There was rumblings about I can't think of his name. I just went blank. There's rumblings that the head coach was going to get fired. I can't believe I can't remember his name. But bunch of Tennessee fans were really disappointed in their performance last year. And as they should be, they're Tennessee. They're a prestigious university. They've kind of dropped off the map a few years ago, but they're really looking for some coach to bring them back to where they used to be. And if the current coach that I can't think of can't do it, he's probably going to be out the next year or so. I just don't see him getting any higher than 5th in the SEC East this year. And as the bottom dwellers, we got the Kentucky Wildcats. Not too much to say other than Joker Phillips, your job, if you don't get more than 4 wins this year, your job is going to be pretty much close to gone. So, yeah, in the SEC West, got Alabama winning. The SEC East, they got Georgia winning. Things might change a little bit, bearing some injuries and some after post-spring games and whatnot, but that's how I see it right now. Thank you guys for watching this. Drop a like, leave me some feedback, tell me what you're thinking, and roll Tide, go Sox, and go Titans to you. Have a nice day.